Hi everyone. I've been exploring some glass, dispersion, thin film, um, shaders. In the previous days on my Instagram, I've been shown some of the results, and some people asked me how I got there and what the results of my experience were. So it's just a short video to explain what I did, what my uh, findings were, and yeah, let's check it out. So I just have a different shape right now. Just made a quick vellum sim, put a dome light and a camera, normal light in, and yeah, just this is a base. Let's build our first shader, and I think it's the dispersion transparency. Throw it in my object and throw on Redshift. So most of you probably know how to make this. It's just transparency, go on full blast, lower the roughness a little bit, and this is the magic button. Throw it on. Most of the time I have either the best results with very big numbers or very small numbers, which gives a lot of light. This is quite pleasant. What you can also do is put on a coating layer and just put a roughness in the coating, which I quite like the result of most of the time. It just blends the hard edges and gives it more of a softer look, while still keeping the transparency in check for most of it. I think it's also because of the dispersion right now. If you up the roughness in the reflection channel, you'll see that it just gets frosted glass, which has also a nice look, but you lose a little bit of the diffraction as well. And if you use the coating, it's not the case. So maybe a little bit of a tip for people that don't use this. So yeah, it's probably the easiest way to go about it. Maybe the most realistic if you just want the dispersion, but probably also the heaviest to render. Like I said, the full frame version I did rendered for more than an hour, so probably not the way, especially if you want to do animations and you don't have a render farm. Another second version I made was the thin film transparency, and like I said, you can make a transparent channel like this and try to throw on thin film, and you see it doesn't do anything. So yeah, that's a shame. I thought, okay, maybe what can I do about this? And I know actually from Blender you can add multiple shaders on top of each other, so I thought maybe Redshift has the same. And the best way to go about this is to just make a black layer, totally black, and just throw on the thin film. Let's see if it gives some nice results. Maybe. Oh wait, you need to have matte on this because there needs to be some reflection. Yeah, let's see if we can get something nice. Play around a little bit. IOR. Yeah, maybe go for this, which has a big contrast between the colors. which I like. Material, you have the material layer, and I thought we went for the material blender. No, it's actually the other way around. Yes. So first is the transparency, and second is the thin film, and we load it in. Reload the scene just to be sure. And if you use the over, you probably just see the second one. So you can use a mask and maybe use a Fresnel or something, which can give nice results. Maybe I'll test it real quick. See what Fresnel gives me. See if I can. Get a nice result. Maybe. Don't usually know what the curve follows. Didn't really figure that one out. But, maybe use a curvature. See if that gives more. Oh, wait. Yeah, I don't know. Just use it for now, I guess. Interesting. Check out for now again. As and you can see if you flip it around what it does. Nah, not really. I mean the contrast is so low that you probably won't, with all the reflection going on, you probably won't see enough what's going on. So yeah, kind of lost my my red line there. The trick is to use, instead of the over, use a combine or an add. Add most of the time just blows everything out of the water. A combine, I thought, was my previous examples worked a lot better. You can just lower the mix a little bit and just go from full transparent to a mix of both. And this is pretty much black with some color on top of it, but this still has the reflection, and the thin film metalness already is sort of a reflection. So if you lower this one, I think the colors came out a bit better, and not everything is not that blown out, which is nice, which I want. Maybe use a coating and see if you can cut the contrast a little bit. But yeah, I think this gives pretty nice results. See if I can use the add and yeah, I can play around with this a little bit. See. Oh, wait. See what works over here. As you can see, there's still a lot going on. It's like a pure, it shouldn't be that colorful. What is going on? Should just be okay. I didn't know reflection was still part of this, even though it's on 0. But yeah, you can see the color seeping through, and yeah, it's thin films. Maybe not the result you're going for, not the dispersion with all the cracks and crannies. Having this nice color variation, but it for sure works. If you want to use the transparency and the thin film, this is probably the way to go. Maybe if you use a color blender, you can use a lot of mask and variation and multiple layers of stuff, blending, morphing, using noises to mask things out, and you can go crazy with it if you want, but not in this video. The next one is the OSL, which was also a tip from somebody on Instagram, and actually pretty nice tip. There's a website on GitHub with a lot of OSL shaders, Redshift OSL shaders. If you search it, probably this is the first page that comes up, and it has a lot of nice variations like the gradients or diffraction, so you can calculate diffraction on the OSL shader, or some new noises, iridescence, madcap, which is pretty cool. I want to play with this somewhere later. Scratches, also nice, just procedural. And of course the thin film. So if you download the thin film OSL shader right here, save it somewhere you can find it again, maybe assets folder or something. If you load the OSL Redshift node, they ask you to load something in, and it just builds an entire node for you. Awesome. You see there's a lot of outputs, normals, normal color, I like the just color data, which is colorful and dark, and there's a transmission one, especially for if you want to have a thin film in the transparency channels, which is a bit more light. And if I build a normal transparency again, you will see why. So if I, this is the one, right? Yeah. If I load the normal color in, you see the transparency is gone because the output of this node is quite dark. And yeah, if you put the color of the transmission down, you just get no transmission. So the lighter it is, the more transmission, which is why this is so awesome. So if you put this one in, I'll just refer to it like this. Awesome colors, very saturated, and transmission version, which gives the colors but also the transparency, which is best of both worlds. So quite an easy setup, and probably the most extensive and most adaptable for the needs that you have. No trickery, and quite fast actually. I think this might be the fastest of all the variations. And like the previous one with the thin film and the material layer blender, this doesn't have concerns about blowing out because there's 2 reflection or 3 reflection channels, so it's more easy to manage. Another thing is if you put up the roughness, the contrast and the colors fade away a little bit. So again, you can manage this by roughening a coat layer, which still gives a little bit of the how do you call it? More, yeah, less contrasty blends between the colors. Like this is quite harsh. This is a more softer look, but the reflection and the transparency are not affected that much. So yeah, this is quite cool as well. You can play around with this, and let me see. Play around with the extinction channels, with the IOR, and go for different results, which this is quite cool actually already. The only thing I want to mention is I find it quite awkward to work with extinction, because you need to invert everything in your mind, which isn't that intuitive. So what I do is make a color mix and make the color I want. For example, I don't know, maybe go for this color, and then invert my color, and let's see, extinction. If I don't know which channel it is, I use the promote, and I know exactly visually where it is, where it needs to go. Yeah, shoot. Yeah, it should work now. Okay. Maybe a bit much. So it's quite sensitive. Yeah, play around. There's 3 layers you can use, and I'll just make this black again. Kill this, make it black again. What's your problem? Oh. This is, for example, if you put a middle layer thickness, it blows out super quick. So 0.5 already makes everything like the particular color. So maybe like very small numbers is the way to go here. Also, which is nice is using a max and noise and a range, and changing the range from something like 0.2. Does the 0.2 do? Okay, maybe a point, maybe do this 0.1 and 0. So I see the difference between those, and if I make a noise, make it more contrasty. Something like this, maybe. Maybe bigger. I don't know, just messing around. change the range of the blacks and the whites and put it in the thickness. So you can control the thickness layer with this, and you make it more extreme and maybe make it darker. So there's some patches of varying thickness which can give quite nice results. And you can also do that with color or IOR and yeah, play around. Okay, didn't really rehearse this, so hope you bear it with me, and yeah, thanks.